Now then, let's take a closer look at the sleeping bag cover. The idea of a sleeping bag cover is to protect your sleeping bag from drips of condensation drips, hoarfrost and that type of thing settling onto your sleeping bag. It's also designed to protect the bag from wet gear inside the tent. If you've got gaiters and waterproofs and wet socks and things, it really adds a smart level of protection to your sleeping bag. And of course it keeps your sleeping bag cleaner as well, so keeps it drier and keeps it cleaner. The sleeping bag cover is made out of a very lightweight fabric which is proofed with a waterproof treatment to give it good water resistance, and it's breathable of course. I'll just go through it. Inside this cover actually I've got a Minim 400. If I just show you that. Now this Minim 400 itself is made in a waterproof fabric, but there's one problem, and that is that the construction techniques of a sleeping bag, particularly lightweight sleeping bags, they're stitched together. There's box wall construction here, that stitch line goes underneath to a box wall construction to hold the down in place. So although this fabric here is waterproof, by running along with a line of stitching, you've created tiny little holes, and eventually, take a long time, but eventually moisture could get through on that cotton and get through those holes and dampen the down. So the sleeping bag cover is designed to totally enclose the sleeping bag. And the clever part about it is there are no stitch lines over the top or the base of the bag. There is only one side seam down each side and a seam around the base plate of the cover. So there is no entry point there, there's no holes as it were where moisture could get in. So whether you've got a sleeping bag that's made in waterproof fabric, or whether it's made in standard sleeping bag fabrics which aren't proofed, this is a very smart way to give another layer of protection to the sleeping bag. I'll just show you the inside. You can see it there, that white coating, that's a spray-on coating that gives a level of waterproofing and remains breathable. So it's a very smart piece of equipment just to protect your sleeping bag, to protect it from dampness and protect it from dirt of course. It's very, very light, and it packs down tiny, so you really wouldn't notice it, but it gives a good level of protection to your sleeping bag. Now these seams aren't taped, the fabric's too light for that. When you use a tape machine, it's a heat process and the heat would damage the fabric, it wouldn't work. So you can't tape this fabric, but the simple fact that you've just got a seam down the side, one whole piece of fabric on the top, one whole piece of fabric on the base, there really isn't many entry points for water, so very good way to look after your sleeping bag. All right, cheers.